Now on BBC One Scotland, here are the Lottery Big Draw 2001 results. In Draw 1, the 5 winning years are confirmed as 1909, 1920, 1931, 1982 and 1992. The bonus year is 1911. There are 43 lucky winners, each winning an unconfirmed £54,000. And the winning years for Draw 2 are confirmed as 1620 and 2438. For this, there are 5 lucky jackpot winners, each winning a guaranteed £1 million.
I have always wanted to do this bit.
Carol and Andy are trying their hands at being bossy. That is, designing.
As you can see, I'm dressed for the occasion, cuffs and all.
Linda's hosting the show.
I'm off back to the hotel. I hear they've got a swimming pool.
And Lawrence is supposed to be mastering MDF.
Where has Ed come from?
Well, yellow pages.
Got a little present for you.
Nice. Budget day.
That is so sweet.
A changing room special, Thursday at 8:30 on BBC One.
Now on BBC One Scotland, the news with Nicholas Witchell.
Good afternoon. At least 5 people have been killed and more than 130 injured by a fire which swept through a cafe in Holland shortly after midnight. The cafe in the town of Volendam was packed with teenagers and many of them were forced to jump from windows to escape from the flames.
It's been described by Volendam's mayor as a night of terror. The popular cafe was packed with New Year revellers when the fire broke out shortly after midnight. Dozens of people were injured as they smashed windows and leapt from the 3rd floor of the building to escape the flames. Firefighters attempted to resuscitate some of the victims on the rooftops of nearby buildings. 30 of the injured are said to be in a critical condition. Medical staff say the death toll will inevitably rise. The cause of the tragedy hasn't yet been established. One theory is that Christmas decorations caught fire, but some eyewitnesses have spoken of a large explosion, possibly caused by fireworks. The police are also investigating reports that all but one of the emergency exits from the building had been blocked.
Princess Margaret is awaiting the results of medical tests after becoming unwell over Christmas. The princess, who's 70, has suffered a series of health problems in recent years, including a mild stroke in 1998.
Princess Margaret, who's been unwell for some time, is now waiting for the results of medical tests, which may pinpoint the precise nature of her illness. I understand it's a physical problem rather than a psychological one. 3 years ago, on the Caribbean island of Mustique, she suffered a stroke. She recovered, but became depressed. And then a year later, she had another setback, when she badly burnt her feet in a bath of scalding water, and has been receiving constant nursing care ever since then. Throughout the holiday period, she missed the church services attended by other members of the royal family. She's been confined to bed and seen by a doctor twice. The princess remains at Sandringham, the Queen's Norfolk estate. There's no suggestion she'll be admitted to hospital, and a palace spokeswoman said there was no immediate danger to her health. It's not clear whether the results of these medical tests will be made public.
4 more Palestinians have died in the latest wave of violence in the Middle East. A 12-year-old boy wounded in yesterday's shooting between Israelis and Palestinians died this morning. 2 policemen in the West Bank have been found dead after a gun battle with Israeli troops. And Jewish settlers are said to have shot dead a man in an Arab village near Jerusalem. Hundreds of thousands of people braved severe weather to welcome in the new year. In Edinburgh, the traditional Hogmanay street party was marked with a spectacular firework display from 7 sites around the city. And in London, thousands converged on Trafalgar Square despite freezing temperatures and rain. Official papers released today under the 30-year rule reveal new details about the former England captain Bobby Moore's arrest in Colombia just before the 1970 World Cup. They show that the Labour government put intense diplomatic pressure on the Colombians to get him released. He'd been arrested for stealing a bracelet. Moore was eventually cleared of any wrongdoing.
Bobby Moore, England captain for the 1970 World Cup in Mexico, became the focus for intense diplomatic efforts to get his release after being arrested for allegedly stealing an emerald bracelet. It was said to have happened in Bogota, Colombia, during a couple of warm-up games. Jack Charlton, also in the team, recalled what happened.
We were sat in a hotel. Bobby Moore came across to an arcade, came across to watch us playing cards. And then suddenly a girl appeared and said, that one and that one. They were the only two that had been in the shops, which was wrong.
Bobby Moore was cleared and freed, but back in Mexico, England were knocked out of the World Cup by West Germany.
That's it for the moment. There are news bulletins every hour on BBC News 24. I'll be back with more news at 5:15 here on BBC One.
Good afternoon. Well, I'm sure if you've been out today, you will have noticed a change in the weather. We now have southerly winds with us coming from a mild direction, and those temperatures have been steadily rising. Compared to yesterday, in just 24 hours, temperatures in Glasgow and Belfast have risen by some 5 degrees, and even in Leeds a 5 degrees rise as well, and in London a 6-degree rise. And certainly those temperatures are going to be staying on the mild side for the first part of this new year. We've still got some snow lying, as you can see, in Glasgow at the moment, but that snow will continue to thaw during the next couple of days. It's bringing problems in the Scottish mountains. The avalanche risk is very high, Category 4, so do check before you head out to the mountains. And as well, we're seeing a lot of snow and ice thawing, and that's going to lead to problems with flooding. We've got quite a few flood warnings out at the moment. You might like to get more details from CFAX page 400 or the Environment Agency's floodline number. So this afternoon, staying very showery in southern and westernmost areas, some of those heavy and thundery. Still some fog across northeast England, which I think will be very slow to clear away and will thicken up again this evening and overnight. Into Scotland, 1 or 2 showers in the west, but I think further east it will be drier. This afternoon, those temperatures far higher than we've seen recently then, around +4 to +11 degrees. And then tonight, a very showery night in store, the heavy and thundery ones again in the south, I think, and a mild night, no need to worry with frost or ice tonight, around 2 to 9 degrees. Bye-bye.
New Year's Day on BBC One. And at 8, Mark has plans for Nick Cotton.
Cheers, Nick. Here's to Auld Lang Syne.
Michelle Collins swaps City Life
I'm stuck here, going nowhere.
for 2,000 Acres of Sky at 8:30.
What do you think about devolution?
I do feel that we did come from apes.
Then Billy Connolly and Sarah Lancashire star in a comedy treat.
You don't think some people would find it titillating?
Gentleman's Relish is at 9:20. That's New Year's Day on BBC One.